Creatine is the most studied, most proven supplement on the planet, and it might also be the one you are most likely to be getting ripped off on. Because here is what the powder companies do not advertise. An independent lab study found creatine products containing industrial byproducts at levels more than 10 times the European Food Safety Authority safety limit. Byproducts that do nothing for your muscles, that you are paying for by the scoop. The molecule is identical in every tub. What is not identical is everything that got left behind in the factory. By the end of this video, you will know the red flags, the 7 signs that scream cheap filler, and the 1 verification code on the label that guarantees you are getting the pure stuff. Let us go. Here is why this matters more than almost any other supplement. You take creatine every day, often for years. 5 grams, daily, forever. So if there is contamination in that powder, you are not getting a one-time dose, you are getting a slow, daily drip. Back in 2011, researchers published a study in the journal Food Chemistry. They took creatine supplements off the shelf and ran them through the lab, looking for the chemical leftovers of the manufacturing process. 3 byproducts kept showing up: dicyandiamide, DCD, dihydrotriazine, DHT, and creatinine, which is basically degraded, useless creatine. What they found was alarming. Some samples contained dicyandiamide at over 5% of the product. Some had creatinine over 1%, and a few carried elevated heavy metals, lead and mercury, on top of that. To put that in context, the European Food Safety Authority says creatine should contain no more than 50 milligrams per kilo of DCD. Some tested products blew past that by several times over. And the scariest red flag is number 2 on this list, because it is the trick premium brands use to charge you double for creatine that is actually worse. Stick around, and the verification code at the end takes you 5 seconds to check. Quick ground rules, because this channel runs on published data, not vibes. Everything you are about to hear traces back to one of 3 things: the peer-reviewed food chemistry study, the official EFSA safety limits for creatine contaminants, or the published certificates of analysis from the brands themselves, all linked below. Check my work. One honest note up front: unlike heavy metals in protein powder, there is no big consumer watchdog test that names specific creatine brands as contaminated. So I am not going to point at 7 tubs and call them poison. I cannot prove that, and neither can anyone selling you a dirty brands list. What I can do is show you the 7 red flags that the data says correlate with filler and contamination, so you can read any label and know. That is more useful anyway. Let us count down. Number 7. The words proprietary blend anywhere near your creatine. Creatine works at 1 dose, 5 grams a day. That is it. There is no secret formula. So when a product hides its creatine inside a proprietary blend with 10 other ingredients, there is only one reason: you cannot see how little actual creatine you are getting. The trick is called fairy dusting. They put a famous ingredient on the front of the label, then include a microscopic, useless amount of it. With a blend, the law does not require them to tell you the breakdown. If they will not show you the exact gram count of creatine monohydrate, assume it is underdosed. Pure creatine has nothing to hide. It is one ingredient, listed in grams. Number 6 is the one that empties your wallet the fastest. The fancy alphabet soup forms: creatine, HCl, creatine, ethyl ester, buffered creatine, creatine nitrate, all sold at a premium over plain monohydrate, all promising better absorption. Here's the data nobody markets to you. Creatine monohydrate is 87.9% creatine by weight, the highest of any form. Creatine citrate, about 40%. Pyruvate, around 60%. HCl, around 78%. So with most of these advanced forms, you literally need to take more powder to get the same creatine, and you are paying more per gram for the privilege. Decades of research keep landing on the same conclusion. Plain monohydrate is the gold standard, full stop. Every exotic form is a marketing story sold at a markup. If a brand is charging you double for HCl or ethyl ester, they are not selling you science. They are selling you a worse ratio at a higher price. Number 5. There's no certificate of analysis, also called COA, anywhere to be found. A COA is the lab report for the specific batch in your tub. A clean brand will show you or send you a lot-specific COA with actual numbers, like purity percentage measured by high-performance liquid chromatography, DCD level, DHT level, creatinine, and heavy metals. Real values. The supplement industry is not pre-approved by the Food and Drug Administration. Nobody checks these products before they hit the shelf. The company is supposed to police itself. So, the COA is the one piece of evidence that separates, trust me bro, from proof. No COA, or a vague generic template instead of a batch-specific one, means the brand is telling you they either didn't test or they don't want you to see the results. Number 4 hides in plain sight. The phrase high purity or pure creatine with no actual number attached. High purity is a marketing phrase. It means nothing on its own. The pharmaceutical grade baseline, the US Pharmacopoeia standard, is 99% or higher, verified by HPLC testing. Reputable brands hit 99.5% or above, and they'll print the exact figure. So the tell is simple. A real quality claim has a number and a method, 99.9% by HPLC. A fake one has an adjective, ultra pure, premium grade, lab tested, with nothing behind it. If there is no percentage and no testing method named, treat the purity claim as decoration. Number 3 is straight up deception, and once I show you this, you'll catch it everywhere. Creapure is the German-made, gold standard creatine raw material, and we'll come back to it. It's so trusted that some brands slap the Creapure name or logo on their packaging while actually using cheaper generic creatine inside. They borrow the reputation without paying for the product. Here's how you catch it. Every genuine Creapure partner is required to carry a unique partner code, an alphanumeric code on the product page, and the physical label. No verifiable code? Then that Creapure logo is decoration, and you have no idea what's actually in the tub. A name you can't verify is not a guarantee. It's a costume. Number 2, the big one. The reason premium brands can charge double for worse product. No independent, third-party certification. Remember those contaminants, DCD, DHT, creatinine. DHT, dihydrotriazine, is the one regulators worry about most because it is structurally similar to triazine herbicides, which is why EFSA caps it at just 3 milligrams per kilogram. The 2011 study found samples carrying these byproducts well above sensible limits. And the only way a byproduct like that gets caught before it reaches you is independent testing. This is what NSF-certified for sport and informed sport actually do. They screen each batch for contaminants and banned substances. If a batch fails, it cannot carry the seal. So a tub with a real third-party certification has been checked by someone other than the company selling it. A generic, uncertified powder from an unnamed facility? Nobody checked. You're the quality control, and the brand is banking on you never asking. And the number one red flag, the root cause behind all the others, you have no idea where or how it was made. Here is the manufacturing forensics. The 2011 research and later analyses point to the same thing. Contamination risk shoots up when production is outsourced to facilities that are not vertically integrated, places that buy in mystery raw materials instead of making and controlling them themselves. Water quality alone matters enormously. Regions with contaminated water produce creatine with more heavy metals, unless the manufacturer pays for filtration steps that cheap operations skip. The cleanest creatine on Earth comes from one purpose-built facility that makes its own starting materials end to end under German and EU manufacturing standards. The dirtiest comes from anonymous bulk suppliers you will never be able to name. So the ultimate red flag is not on the label, it is the absence of any answer to a simple question. Where was this made, and who controls that process? If the brand cannot or will not tell you, the powder is a black box, and you are putting it in your body every single day. So how do you skip all 7 red flags at once? You do not need to memorize them. You just need to know what to look for. And there are 3 ways to buy creatine that are independently verified clean. Here they are, ending with the single most foolproof one. Number 3. For anyone on a budget. Bulk supplements creatine monohydrate. No frills, no fairy dust, 1 ingredient, third-party tested, with certificates of analysis available, at roughly 13 cents a serving. It's the proof that you do not have to spend a fortune to buy clean. You're skipping every red flag we just covered. It's plain monohydrate, it's certified, the testing is published, and the price is honest. Clean doesn't have to mean expensive, it has to mean verified. Number 2. Any creatine carrying the NSF-certified for sport seal. Thorne is the standout here. This is the pick for total peace of mind, because you are outsourcing the trust to a third party whose entire job is catching contaminants. NSF screens every certified batch for DCD, banned substances and contaminants. If it is on the seal, it passed. Thorne in particular built its whole reputation on passing audits other brands quietly avoid. You are not trusting the brand's marketing. You are trusting the auditor standing between the brand and you. And the number 1, most foolproof way to never get scammed on creatine again. Buy verified Creapure and check the partner code. Creapure is creatine monohydrate made in one dedicated facility in Trostberg, Germany, by a company that makes its own raw materials end to end. The published numbers are the whole reason it is the gold standard, over 99.9% purity as measured by HPLC. DCD is below 20 milligrams per kilo, well under the EFSA limit of 50 milligrams per kilo. DHT is undetectable compared to a limit of 3. Heavy metals, lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury are below detection. Compare that to the contaminated samples in the study. DCD was over 5%, creatinine was over 1%, and you can see why one tub costs a few dollars more. That few dollars covers the filtration, the testing, and the German facility doing its job. Brands that use it include Thorne, Momentous, and MyProtein's Creapure line. But here is the foolproof part, the 5-second check. Look for the Creapure partner code on the label or product page. Real code, real Creapure. No code, and that logo means nothing. One honest caveat, same as always. I do not take sponsorships, and I do not deal in absolutes. Creapure is the best documented purity standard available today, but the real lesson is not one brand name. It is the checklist. Plain creatine monohydrate, dosed in grams, third-party certified, or Creapure verified, with a certificate of analysis you can actually read. Do that, and not one of those 7 red flags can touch you. Quick recap. Walk away from proprietary blends, exotic overpriced forms, missing certificates of analysis, vague purity claims with no number, unverifiable Creapure logos, uncertified generics, and mystery manufacturing. The verified clean buys are bulk supplements on a budget, NSF-certified Thorn for peace of mind, and verified Creapure, Charpio, with the partner code checked as the gold standard. Every number in this video comes from the linked food chemistry study, the European Food Safety Authority limits, and the published lab specifications. Read them. That is the whole point of this channel.